The Justin Robert Young podcast is brought to you, as always, by patreon.com/JuRY. If you want to support this show, go ahead and do it over there. Look, I'm an independent podcastman. I do my best, and if there's any element of your budget that you can allocate to either this show or the Politics show, then the way to support it directly is patreon.com/JuRY. Also, if you are in the Bay Area, yeah, man, I'm talking to you, everybody in the North Bay, East Bay, South Bay, San Francisco proper, how about you head on over to the Piano Fight website, because we got ourselves a live show March 1st. It is the Sex Scandals Bracket Show. I'm going to be breaking down the most wild, explosive, and lurid sex scandals from the entire history of the American Republic. We're going to break them down. We're going to select a winner in a tournament format. It's going to be a great time. So go on over to Piano Fight. The website is, well, somewhere. Just search for Piano Fight. The show is March 1st. It's at 7:30. So if you are in the area, you're going to have a good time. Cheap tickets, too. It's like $18. It's my first, paid live show. So if you guys want to support me, be really cool. But enough talking about how we support the show. Oh, what do you say we just do the damn thing?
Ugly ain't the half, look at you. Well, you got blue teeth and you only got 2 teeth, but I kinda like to see you smile. And it appears that over the years you've turned into a big old steaming pile. And she said, yeah, I know I ain't no supermodel. I said, you ain't a hand model, baby, but that's fine. You're pretty ugly by most people's standards, but you're all right by mine.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Justin Robert Young program. My name is Justin Robert Young. I'm bad. I could add things to that. I could qualify how and why I am bad. However, I think we all just know I'm just not good at things. So when I did the promo for my show on March 1st, which is very important to me, I'm not going to lie to you. This is something that I've worked a lot on. I have not done a show for which money has been charged at the door in damn near 15 years, right? Been a while. I'm doing one on March 1st. And when I do it, I would love for people to be there. But here is why I am not good. I'm the opposite of good, which is commonly referred to in popular nomenclature as bad, because I can't remember the URL that I need people to go to. So, pianofight.com. Thank God to the man, the myth, the legend, TV Zegon, because if you go to pianofight.com, you will be able to get all the tickets for anything that you want. Show calendar. You go on over to March 1st, and you will see that I am there. It is the Sex Scandals Bracket Challenge about a month from tomorrow. It's going to be a blast. So, there we go. We're done with the plug for that this week. There'll be a lot more plugs for it coming up. If you are not into politics, I'm letting you know, man, you're still going to have a good time at this show. Again, I don't do a lot of shows, so this will be the closest you can get. But this is more about humanity than it is about who's a good politician, right? It's more about celebrity and sex and humiliation and hubris and three-ways and fun stuff. It's great. So go check it out. Politics, 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 the American Sex Scandal Bracket show. That is March 1st. Okay, let's get into what we have to do this week. Man, it is great. Great to be here this week. Having a fun time so far. Started running again. Remember last year? Hopefully we never have a year like last year where I just bitch about being infirmed and my back hurting for half a year. Let's never do that again. You and I should make a pact. We must never have a year like the second half of 2017 where all I did on this show was bitch about my back. Because now, I'm feeling good. Went running again this week. I'm going to go to my physical therapist on tomorrow to get my final kind of like get out there and be something, kind of a thumbs up. And I've been resolving myself to get out there a little more, do some more things, connect with more people. So I did that last night. I went to a great little bar in San Francisco called Brewcade. All right. And at Brewcade, they were having a tournament for a great game called Killer Queen. If you're unfamiliar with the game Killer Queen, effectively imagine this. Imagine like the game Joust, right? But it's played on two gigantic, kind of like, remember those big X-Men or Simpsons arcade cabinets? So there's two of them right next to each other. 10 players. And it's cheap, too, normally. That's another thing that they crack the code on, is that they're really just, it's awesome. It's like 50 cents for each play or 25 cents for each play. It's not super expensive, but you just get obsessive with you and your friends to play this game. So I went with my my contender co-creator and owner, John Teasdale, and we went to do a tournament last night. Super, super fun. This is, I think, if you're watching the video version of this, this is from the finals. They were streaming on Twitch. At some point, I tweeted it out, and I doubled their viewership. And I was very happy with myself, even though doubling the viewership means that there were 12 people instead of 6. And I don't want to say anything about negative. They can be construed as negative about Brewcade, about Killer Queen, about any of the fine competitors that were there last night. But ladies and gentlemen, I got to bring something up. There were some people there in that crowded little barcade that smelled. I'm not proud to say it. I'm not proud to say that I was judgmental of other people for smelling. All right? I'm not. Nor do I think that I never smell. I very often smell. I'm a farter. Man, I have cleared out rooms with some farts. I'm a sweaty guy. I oftentimes find myself a little schwitzing like an Airedale. But it got me thinking. John and I were even talking about it. Why do people smell? Why did, more specifically, these people smell? Now, I came up with a theory. Y'all let me know whether or not you think this theory holds water. I posit the theory that sweaty people smell less than non-sweaty people. Counterintuitive. I know. Non-sweaty people can get more ripe. Here's why. I believe that non-sweaty people who don't often lift their arms to find a gigantic saturated lake where their armpit is. People who oftentimes catch a glance of their back in the mirror and don't see that beautiful Georgia O'Keeffe painting in sweat on their backs. No, everybody who goes out, lives their life, goes home, and takes off their shirt, believing they don't smell. Believing that because, well, I didn't sweat that much, maybe I don't need to wash this shirt. Maybe if I'm running a little late, I don't really need to take a shower. That's where I think the real smells come from. I don't think sweaty people suffer from this problem because sweaty people understand that with sweat comes odor, with odor comes embarrassment, and therefore take it upon themselves to make sure that they have solutions. Extra deodorant, extra t-shirts, undershirts, talcum powder. I've seen it all. Sweaty brothers and sisters, I feel your pain. But then I moved from South Florida, among the sweatiest fucking places you can live, to San Francisco and Oakland. Some of the most temperate climates you could ever imagine. I mean, holy shit. If there's a day outside the realm of a low of 55 and a high of 71, it's something that people call the goddamn cops over. So you get these folks, they wake up, no air conditioning, they go to their job, they have whatever they do during the day, and then they come back. And they figure they don't need to shower. They figure they don't need to change their clothes. And maybe, it even goes a couple days like this. We all lose track of things. Anything that you don't do every day, you're liable to not do for 3 or 4. So maybe some of these folks, because you're immune to your own musk, just kind of lose track of that scent. And that's why I think the smells that I smelt last night while we were all huddled up to that Killer Queen arcade machine were why I got what I got. Oh. And it's not unique to just that bar. I mean, don't. Again, I'm not saying that anything is specific about nerds. Might be slightly a nerd thing. You want to know what? All right, we got to be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I need you guys to email me. Do nerds smell more than other people? Do nerds smell more than normies? I'm asking you a question. And I don't know the answer to it. I feel like this is something that we need to talk about, because if we don't bring it up inside of our own community, then who else? Who else, right? We're supposed to be the smart ones. We're supposed to be the ones that are objectively looking at facts and coming up with a better reconstruction of reality so we can live our lives data-driven. Do nerds smell more? I'm seeing a lot of feedback here in the Twitch chat. By the way, twitch.tv/Justin R. Young is where you can watch this show every single Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific. How can we fix this? If this is the case, and I'm going to wait until all the evidence is in, right? You can go ahead and email me, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Put jury in the subject line. I want to hear from you guys on this with two vectors. The first, do nerds smell more than normies? Number two, how can we communicate to each other in a way that doesn't hurt our feelings to let your fellow nerd know, dog, you smell like a pound of shit in a half-pound duffel bag. I mean, come on. Come on. You smell bad, dude. You smell like 4 dogs fucked 6 dogs in a monsoon in 150-degree heat. That's what you smell like. You smell like bologna rotting in the sun. All right, we can move on. I do want to hear. I want to hear from you guys on this, because it's hard. It's hard when you people you know, you love, best friends. You go up to somebody, I mean, like, it hurts to say, hey, dude, do you fucking smell like a pound of shit right now? Is that you? Smelling? Stanking? Doing the stanky leg? Except instead of the leg, it's your entire body? We got a couple more things to talk about here today before we get to your emails. This one came in from our Discord. You can join our Discord. It's for free. Whenever you want to talk to other friends of either this show or politics, you can go to bit.ly/JuRY Discord and join the gang. This one came in from Open Bayou. Let's see if we can get this here. Virginia proposes porn watching fee to prevent human trafficking. I'm already skeptical. Virginia proposes porn watching fee to prevent human trafficking. Here we go. Norfolk, Virginia. The Commonwealth of Virginia might start charging people for checking out adult websites. Okay, friends, we're already looking at a non-starter. I'm sorry, Virginia. This is just not working for me. There's a new bill being proposed in the General Assembly that would lock all pornographic sites from your phones and computers, and the only way to unlock them is to pay the state $20. Huh. Huh. The Virginia House Bill 1592 is also known as the Human Trafficking Prevention Act. Really? Really? Lawmakers who proposed the bill said that by making pornography less accessible on the internet, it would reduce the amount of human trafficking. Direct 1-to-1. Really? So then, I'll save my hot take. Let's continue reading. Terry Foss of Virginia agrees with the bill. Oh, you went man on the street? Oh, fuck you, 13 News Now, the ABC affiliate in Virginia. You literally, on the first fucking quote, you went man on the street. Not the person who wrote the bill, not an expert on the subject. You went man on the street. Can we have a conversation real quick about man on the street? If you get quotes from people on the street, you've given up on your reporting. We used to have a rule at the Daily Orange, the college newspaper I worked at, that you had to have 3 sources per story. But some stories were so fucking stupid that you really just needed, or something that would affect students or something. So we would get what we called Kimmel quotes. Kimmel is the dining hall in Syracuse on the campus. So you would go to Kimmel, which was right by where the Daily Orange was, and you just ask random motherfuckers what they thought of random motherfucking shit. It was fundamentally useless. And that was a bunch of 18 to 20-year-old slapdicks doing a community theater version of journalism. It's good community theater, but let's be honest, it was fucking community theater. And so here, professional journalists. Oh, wait. Television journalists decide to go with a man on the street quote as their first quote in what is a fairly interesting story. So here we go. Let's find out what Terry Foss of Virginia thinks. Oh, thank God. Thank God Terry Foss is here to let us know. If people want to view... Okay, here we go. I'm not going to do a voice. If people want to view pornography, that's their prerogative. But having it free, it makes it too tempting for other people on the web to have access that can be influenced in a negative way. For real, Terry. If people want to view pornography, that's their prerogative. Okay, that's fine. But having it free makes it way too tempting. I assume Terry has charged everybody who's ever seen her naked. However, others say it's an infringement of their rights. I mean, if you're just going to go ahead and file the dumbest story ever, why not get competing man on the street quotes? I think that's a freedom we all have as America, said Grace Owens. I just don't see the relevance at all. Others say it's not far-fetched to link human trafficking to porn, but restricting all sites might be going too far. Ladies and gentlemen, I just realized, I read to the end of the story. There are not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. 4 man on the street quotes. 4. I feel like there are a lot of side alleys you can go down, maybe only types of porn versus other types. Said a woman named Carrie. Folks, I can't honestly make this up. I literally just need you all to understand that in this article, there is a quote from a woman named Carrie. There we go. We're talking about a state bill to restrict pornography unless you pay the state $20. And the first quote in the first story, the third woman on the street that we quote is a woman named Carrie. I'm joking on this story. This story has done physical harm to me. A woman named Carrie. As opposed to what? A dog named Carrie? A pup named Carrie do? I would have preferred if they had committed journalism malpractice and just lied and gave her another last name. It would have given me more information than just quoting her as a woman named Carrie. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Oh, but that's not it. We still have another 3 sentences on this. Some people say it's like the state is punishing you for looking at something perfectly legal that some find offensive. It's like a sin tax, getting cigarettes or alcohol or anything else, says Charles Plant. When or if this bill will be voted on has yet to be determined. What can you say? What can you say? Because I was ready. I was ready to go off on how dumb this is as an idea for a law. I could go and talk about how it is not preventing human trafficking if you put a paywall for porn. It is profiting off human trafficking. I could point out the fruitlessness of trying to continually track these sites, let alone the fact that you will undoubtedly make porn more popular. And that's before we even get into the idea that the state is building some weird database of who is paying for pornography and who isn't. And then I read this story by WVEC, ABC 13 in Virginia. I don't even want to say the guy's name because I've made fun of this story too much. But oh my God. Oh my God. You can't get anybody else on the phone? You can't talk to... I mean, there's a lot of prominent colleges in Virginia. You can't call the University of Virginia? You can't get somebody on the phone? Hey, what do you think about this? College professors love getting quoted about shit like that. 20-ounce monkey in the Twitch chat. It only gets hard if you pay the tax. It's the hard times tax. When you're paying $20 to spank your monkey daddy, that's hard times. State of Virginia put hard times on me. Oh, God. I want to talk about something that is going to be talked about a lot this week, and a lot of people will talk about this weekend. The Super Bowl is this weekend. It will feature the Philadelphia Eagles being defeated by the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots are the best, and there's no possible way that they'll lose. Tom Brady is great. He will never age, and his aging will certainly not begin on a gigantic stage like the Super Bowl this weekend. There's no way that Nick Foles will be able to win the Super Bowl. This is a foregone conclusion, and I'm certainly not trying to reverse jinx the Patriots. The halftime show for the Super Bowl will be Justin Timberlake. He's releasing a new album. He is now, again, fully ensconced in the music scene after taking his sojourn into acting. He's doing both, but again, he's got a new album coming out. This will be the first time that he is on stage by himself since that time. Ah, yes. That time. February 1st, 2004. Where were you when you saw Janet Jackson's titty? It was a very, very, very seminal moment. I mean, possibly. In American culture, when Janet Jackson's titty was revealed, or at that point was one of the largest television audiences of all time. Houston, Texas was the scene. NRG Stadium. Janet Jackson, featuring a hodgepodge of musical talent, including P. Diddy, Nelly, and Kid Rock. It was sponsored by America Online. Yes, AOL, you've got mail. I've watched this clip a bunch of times, so I'm going to talk you through it. Justin Timberlake is brought on stage to sing the first big single, his solo single, after splitting off from NSYNC. He had, let's see, I can't remember. Oh, here, hold on. It's probably here in this Wikipedia. What was he singing? What was he singing? That old Justin Timberlake. Yeah, it's like, talk to me, boy. Which is, of course, where the trouble starts. So it's a big mishmash, right? He had all sorts of different acts. I think it was co-produced by MTV. So that's why there were all sorts of younger acts. And one of them, of course, was Justin Timberlake. Comes out, everybody's yelling, everybody's screaming. This is going to be the finale of the Super Bowl halftime show. So this song, oh God, now I'm, let's see, here we go. Let's go ahead and find Justin. Rock Your Body. That's it. Let's go ahead and just look through the lyrics for Rock Your Body. This is the chorus. Talk to me, boy. No disrespect. I don't mean no harm. Talk to me, boy. I can't wait to have you in my arms. Now, Janet Jackson, who has performed this entire time, right? Whole catalog of hits, killing the game, is now following along with Justin Timberlake on stage, repeating the lyrics. Talk to me, boy. Talk to me, boy. Hurry up, because you're taking too long. Talk to me, boy. And then as they are perfectly framed, the final moment of the Super Bowl halftime show, Justin Timberlake says the line, "Better have you naked," by the end of this song, reaches over, grabs at Janet Jackson's, the cup of her, I guess it would be the left breast, it looks like, and pulls. Now, I don't know, even to this day, what was supposed to happen. What does happen is that the cup of her costume is ripped off, and what remains is Janet Jackson's bare titty with one of the more elaborate nipple piercings I have ever seen in my entire life. And folks, I watched porn in the 90s. This is, as we all came to know, a nipple shield. It's a gigantic radiating sun. Yes, indeed, a titty fell out at one point. So, where were you when this happened? I'll tell you where I was. Oh, no, this was not a pasty. People are saying, no, this was not a pasty. This was a nipple shield. In fact, I probably can't show it here on Twitch. But we can show a general. If you just Google, I'm not going to show an actual nipple. But these are nipple shields. They are piercings that then kind of cover the nipple. I know that there's an actual titty here in this Google search, so I won't go too far. But these are things. All right, people are saying it was a pasty. I do not believe Janet Jackson nipple shield. Okay, here we go. Janet Jackson Super Bowl incident. We are now going to Snopes, Snopes.com. We're gonna scroll by that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we showed it. Okay, sorry. Violating the TOS for history. I'm going to just take a look at it for my own. Yeah, no, dudes, folks, come on. That was not a pasty. There's no way that was a pasty. I'm looking at it right now. That is a nipple shield. You see that woman's nipple. It's poking out of the rays of a sun. I mean, come on, folks. There's no way. If you thought that was a pasty, you need to educate yourself. Now, why do I know this as well as I do? Why do I know this? Because, as I mentioned before, I was part of that Daily Orange newspaper, and that's where I was watching this Super Bowl. I believe it was, the Patriots and the Carolina Panthers? God, how long is Tom Brady going to be doing this? And while we were watching this, and this is one of those old, CRT TVs, right? We have this old ass TV up in the editor's office. We're watching it, and as soon as he rips off her cup, everyone's like, "Was that her titty?" What? I mean, that couldn't. That couldn't be her titty, could it? I mean, it's the Super Bowl. How on earth could it have been her titty? How could this have been done? So, of course, you are young, budding journalists. You want to learn how to do things the way real journalists do it? What did we do? The same thing that real journalists do. We went to Drudge Report. And sure enough, right there on Drudge Report was Papa. That dude, Matt Drudge, don't give a fuck. He had that JPEG right on display, front and center. I wish. Yeah, we sure as fuck didn't go to Kimmel. We didn't ask a bunch of assholes at Kimmel, what did you think of Janet Jackson's titty? I'm sure eventually we did. But we went to Drudge Report, and we saw, I wish I could show you guys this thing, but it definitely is just a titty. But that's why, I swear to God, if it had not been a nipple shield, I would have, that would have been the Mandela effect of all time. Because I could have sworn, and I know I was right, and there's no way I would know the phrase nipple shield if it was not about this. So let me make this point. When Justin Timberlake comes out, he's got to have Janet, right? He's got to give Janet her redemptive moment. This was the most TiVo'd moment in history at the time. It was the largest amount of FCC complaints that ever came in. It was a cultural, iconic moment. It shaped the Super Bowl, if not the NFL, for a decade past it. And we didn't even have to pay $20. Let's go ahead and get into your emails. JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Again, JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. We'll have you naked by the end of this song. Can I tell you guys a cute thing I do? I do this really cute thing. Whenever I'm at a bar, right, and they're oh, what's your name, so they can find my credit card, I go, Young, like the adjective, Justin, like the Timberlake. Never fails. 100% success rate. Always killing the game. Killing the game. People love it. Pop, 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 pop. In the arsenal. All the time. All right, let's go ahead and get into your email. Can I just give big round of applause because we had somebody get out there and live their life this week. Somebody made it happen this week. Somebody had it in their head to start a trend. The Jen is the first to RoboCop. If you remember from last week, our obsession with dating trends got to the point where we wanted to create one for ourselves. We wanted to invent RoboCopping. RoboCopping is when you randomly find somebody that you used to be romantically involved with that now don't speak regularly to, and you Venmo or PayPal them $1 to see what they will do. Because like the clip in RoboCop, I'll buy that for $1. So The Jen writes in, I dated this guy about 6 years ago. I've definitely not talked to him in years, and we are still apparently Facebook friends, so I just Venmoed him $1 for quote-unquote services. I guess we'll see what happens. Don't let Jen be the only one. We've broken the seal on RoboCopping. Email me your screenshots and your stories. If anybody responds to you, send your ex $1 and see what happens. We need to get this going. RoboCopping is the new dating trend. And everybody, if you see the Jen either in our chat room or anywhere else amongst the Diamond Club community, tell her she's a fucking pioneer. Cameron writes, I'm wondering if you can help me find the perfect label for my last bad relationship. I used to think it was simply not meant to be, but now I have renewed hope that I can identify a dumbass label to help me feel like a victim. I'll try to be brief, but I met somebody online and we ended up getting to know each other very well. We actually decided to take each other seriously and were dating for a couple of years, occasionally flying across the country one way or another to see each other. We got engaged and stayed that way for 2 more years, only for her to eventually lose interest and cut off ties. She asked me for help moving, so I sent her a little cash, and then she never responded to any more of my messages, even after the we'll still be friends thing. So far, the best name I can come up with this is Tron Legacying. I see Tron Legacying as any relationship that involves long distance and online communication over the course of years with the promise of a trilogy or a cinematic universe, only for one partner to leave the grid after the lackluster box office opening weekend. Also, laser bikes. I'm left here now with only a CGI attempt to make myself look younger, pondering if there isn't perhaps a better trendy name for this relationship ending. Cameron, I'm sorry to tell you, but there is no name for what happened to you. What happened to you is normal. Let me give everybody some basic guidelines. Now, every relationship is different. Every person is different. Every interaction that you have with somebody romantically is going to be affected by not only where you guys are as people, where you're going as people, your trajectory of how you are growing in that direction and the velocity toward which you are going to be the person you will be going forward, as well as other factors like what's surrounding you, economics, stuff like that, right? But IMO, relationships generally have a couple guidelines when it comes to time. I would say you have about 3 years from dating somebody to the point where you guys need to make a decision. I would say specifically this is probably in the period of time that I was both alive and dating people. So 34 years old. I'd say this is probably a good dating in your 20s axiom. You got 3 years. At 3 years, you're on borrowed time, unless you are either engaged or married. Now, I would encourage you to take that 3 years. Enjoy that 3 years. You got 3 years. You got about 2 years before it becomes like an issue that you should probably move in together. And then like another year once you're living together where it's like, okay, what are we doing here? We got to at least have some kind of conversation about this. Past that, all bets are off. You have no guarantees. You are outside the normal allotted time for which people are normally together. So if you are dating long distance for a couple years, and then, by the way, so long distance dating is dating in dog years. So however long 3 years is, that's about how much time you have to date. Now, this is something I can speak to. I am married to somebody that I dated long distance. And boy, did it suck. And it helped that we were like not really dating for a lot of it. We were just talking to each other every night. And having sex when we were close to each other. But we were not dating. That was like a big thing. So if you dated long distance for 2 years, then you were engaged while you were still long distance for 2 years, man, like that went the distance. What's 4 years in dog years? Alexa, what's 4 years in dog years?
There are approximately 0.56 dog years in 4 years.
Yeah. I think I got that one wrong. What is dog years? Times 7? What is dog years? Yeah, 0.56 dog years in 4 years. So then what is it if you go the other way? 28 years. You guys dated for 28 years. Look at it like that. You dated for 28 years. And it didn't work out. There's no shame in that. There's absolutely no shame in that. Here's my note on long distance dating. As somebody who did it, I did it the wrong way. You should never get into a long distance relationship that you do not have an endpoint for. Don't. Do not do it. Do not do it. In fact, the best thing you could do if you love somebody that is far away from you is not date. Let that friction bring you together or keep you apart. It is the best point. Endpoint. By endpoint, I mean that it's no longer long distance. So I meet this person. Let's just say theoretically, I live in Florida. She lives in Ohio. You should not be dating unless you're planning, like, okay, in 2 years, we're going to live together. In 3 years, we're going to live together. In a year, we're going to live together. If you're thinking like that, I didn't do that. It was bad. We were very close to breaking up at the point that I was like, hey, look, I'm moving to California. Would you like to move to California? Like, we were close. It was almost not a thing anymore. So, Cameron, you had to learn the hard way that your 28-year relationship was just wasn't to be. It's fine. It's fine. You're crazy, man. Date long 4 years, engaged for 2 years. I mean, what were you gonna do? You got to be in the same place to get engaged. That's crazy. And then I asked for emails to be short. So Sean wrote, hey, I don't want to take up too much time on the show, so I'll keep this short. And that was it. You can go ahead and email the show, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Again, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Man, that's it. That's it. Twitter and Instagram is Justin R. Young. I'm back on Snapchat now that I'm running again. That's a pretty good time. You can always join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. Hey, do you like politics? Go ahead and get on my daily newsletter, tinyletter.com/JustinRobertYoung. You want to support me directly? Go ahead and do it. Patreon.com/JuRY. JuRY. We got new emotes if you're subbing on Twitch. Twitch.tv/JustinRYoung. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your old pal JuRY. I want to let you know, till I see you again, please don't
Do you like the way you're dressed up? Do you like how your hair gets cut? Do you like when your friends fuck up? Don't you think you have had enough? I'll read more.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.